So this is the demo for the batch data preprocessing capabilities of the FRACTAL cloud platform related to the Work Package 5. In this demo, we are going to show the different capabilities that the FRACTAL cloud platform has related to the data preprocessing. So here we can see the involved services in this demo. The demo starts with a raw data repository where several images are stored. In the workflow management service, an Airflow DAG is defined, which is scheduled in this case to run every day and perform the following tasks. First of all, it will take the data from the raw data repository, which are in this case RGB color images, and transform them to grayscale images. Once this transformation is completed, the resulting dataset will be stored at the process dataset repository. It is worth mentioning that as we are using a Git-like data repository, we will be able to create an initial version of the dataset. And after the new transformation that we are going to apply next, we can define new versions of this same dataset. In this case, attending to the Airflow DAG definition, a second transformation will be done and the resulting dataset will be stored in the process dataset repository. This second transformation will reshape the images to a square format. Once this second transformation is done, the resulting dataset will be stored also in the process dataset repository as a second version of the images. So now we are going to see the application of this demo on the FRACTAL cloud platform. So now we are going to have a brief overview of the DAG we are going to use in this example. As you can see, this is an example of the DAG we are using. You can see here that we are using a Python operator here. This means that we are going to use Airflow with Python in this case. If you go to the Airflow documentation, you can see that you have different operators, like, I don't know, Docker operators and so on. But in this case, we are going to use Python code, so we are going to use the Python operator. Here, first of all, we define the DAG we are going to use. We give a name, the description, the schedule. We schedule also an interval that is going to be executed, and some tags and so on. And once we have defined this, we import the packages we are going to use. The main packages we will be using will be Boto3, that will be used to interact with the OVH object storage service. We are also going to use this PIL package that is going to do all the image processing. And we are also going to use the LakeFS client. It's going to be the package that we are going to, or the library we are going to use to interact with LakeFS. So once we have import these libraries, here at the bottom we can see that our DAG in this case has two steps. The first step that we call the processing operator, and then the resizing operator. So if we go to the processing operator, we can see here that it's a Python operator, and we are going to call this function that is up here. And what it basically does is it lists the images that are stored on the OVH data storage. Once we have those images, we process them one by one, and once we have processed them, we commit to LakeFS to this branch and with this commit message. Once we have done this, we will have the images with the first processing applied, and then we would apply the second processing, which is the resizing operator that we have here, the function, and it's quite similar to the previous one, but the processing is a bit different. So here we can see that we get all the images here. We also define the LakeFS client here. If you have any doubts of how to define this type of client, if you go to the LakeFS documentation, you can have a detailed overview of all these terms. But we have here a simple example of this implementation. So here we define the client, here we take the objects from the LakeFS bucket, and once we have these objects, we make a loop. So we get the actual object, we open the image because we are using images here, we do the resizing to 256 squared images, and once we have done this resizing, we save it to PNG format again, and we upload this image to the corresponding repository, and once we have all the images uploaded, we make the commit message to LakeFS, to this branch, and with this commit message. And this would be a brief overview of the code we are executing here on the demo. So now we are going to show how the data is stored on the OVH object storage on the Fractal project. Well, we can see here that we have multiple different images, in this case about flowers. We can even, I don't know, download one of them and see how they look. Well, so this is one example of one of the images that will be processed on this demo. Well, we can see here that we have multiple images. We can also go now to the process dataset repository. We can see here that we have these images at the demo data folder. If we go to the process dataset repository, we can see that we don't have, at least right now, a demo data folder as we do have on the OVH dataset repository. So once we perform our transformation, all this data will be processed and also uploaded here to the LakeFS process dataset repository. So if we go to Airflow, we can see here that we have a DAG prepared for this demo, which is called data processing. And as we have mentioned before, this DAG has two steps or two tasks. The first one is to take the images from the raw data storage and make the first transformation, which is transforming them to grayscale. And once they are transformed, we will see that they will be uploaded to the process dataset repository, and then we are going to perform the second transformation, that is the resizing transformation. And again, once the transformation is completed, they are also going to be uploaded to the dataset repository. So now we can trigger the DAG and see how the transformation works. Well, here we can see that the first task, which is the black and white task, is already running. So if we go to the LakeFS repository and we refresh the page, we can see that a folder has been created, and here we can see that we have some right now, and here we can see initial commit. So if we go to objects, well, we can see here the final version of the flower we downloaded at the beginning. If we download this, we can see that this image is squared and is also in black and white. So here we are demonstrating the data preprocessing capabilities of the Fractal Cloud Platform. In addition, we can show that if we go to the intermediate commit, this initial commit, so if we go here at browse object at this commit, and we go to the flower image, We can see here that the first transformation has been applied because this image is in grayscale, but the second transformation hasn't been applied yet because we are at the commit that we have selected here. So here we are demonstrating the capabilities of this tool to have dataset versioning.